Hey there, welcome back. We're gonna head out on a road trip and check out some wacky museums along the way. Now, before you fall asleep at the sound of that idea, these museums are unlike any you've ever seen before. A museum about bananas? Yep, it exists. Before we baffle you with this, why not subscribe and click the notification bell too? Help support our channel by watching this video until the end. Start the car. It's road trip time. Here's some museums you'll actually like. Okay, first stop. The National Mustard Museum, Middleton, Wisconsin. Mustard fanatics unite. Yellow, dry, fancy, doesn't matter. This museum has them all. Yep, this museum is exactly what you think it is. A building dedicated to this yummy condiment. There are over 6,000 types of mustard on display, and according to the museum's founder and curator Barry Levinson, it all started with a Red Sox game. The year was 1986, and the Sox had just lost the World Series. This was a crushing game for a lot of Sox fans, and like those fans, Barry was doing some soul-searching when he stumbled upon his new calling in life. In the mustard aisle of the grocery store. He heard a tiny voice say, "If you collect us, they will come." And in 1992, so began the famous Mustard Museum. How famous can it possibly be? Well, this museum's been featured in a ton of pop culture, like The Oprah Winfrey Show and Jeopardy, among others. This museum is totally free, although they do accept donations, and is home to every shape and size imaginable of the king of condiments. Speaking of all things yellow, the International Banana Museum, North Shore, California. When you think of California, you think of bananas, right? Well, now you just might, because welcome to the International Banana Museum, a place that contains over 20,000 banana-related things. I can't even think of 5, let alone 20,000. Just to give you an idea of what that means, there's a banana-shaped record player, ties, squirt guns, dishes, lip gloss. If you can think of it, they have it in banana form. I wouldn't even be surprised if they had a dog named Banana. I mean, it actually looks kind of fun. I'm just trying not to go bananas. Okay, next on our museum tour is something a little more serious. In fact, you could almost say it's top secret. International Spy Museum, Washington, D.C.
The name's Bond. James Bond.
No, this isn't a museum dedicated to the International Man of Mystery. It is, however, dedicated to all things espionage related. Don't worry, these secrets are some that you're allowed to know. This museum is all about how the world of intelligence has helped to change our history. This museum opened back in 2002, and some of the pieces inside are objects that have never been shown to the public, until now, of course. Think of the coolest spy gadgets you could imagine. You can probably think of some pretty out-of-the-box stuff, and the stuff inside this place probably isn't too far off. A tube of lipstick that doubles as a pistol? They got that. Used by the KGB, it was dubbed the ultimate kiss of death. Pretty cool, huh? All right, let's lighten the mood with a museum dedicated to one of the best musicians of all time. Chasing Rainbows Museum, Dollywood, Tennessee. I mean, what's not to love about the wonderful Dolly Parton? Welcome to the Chasing Rainbows Museum, all dedicated to the larger-than-life singer. The title actually does make sense. After all, Dolly did say if you want the rainbow, you gotta put up with the rain. This museum is part of the whole Dollywood experience. Dollywood is a theme park and resort, but inside this magical land lies the museum, Chasing Rainbows. The website says that Dolly created this museum with the hopes of showing off intimate and impressive moments of her life, including behind-the-scenes collections and an up-and-close look at her life. If anyone deserves a museum dedicated to their life, Dolly is absolutely one of them. Anyone else have 9 to 5 stuck in their head now? Let's keep with the larger-than-life theme with our next pit stop. Neon Museum, Las Vegas, Nevada. Oh yeah, Vegas, baby! Notorious for its light show, Vegas is constantly changing to keep up with the times, which means it's out with the old-ish and in with the new. Unfortunately, these beautiful neon signs have gone out of fashion, and they've been shipped to the Neon Sign Graveyard, which is part of the Neon Museum. It's not quite as eerie as it sounds. This museum has been up and running since 1996, and it's not for profit. The museum is dedicated to collecting and preserving the iconic signs for educational, cultural, and historic purposes. You can get all the knowledge about the signs of old in the museum, or you can go grab some Instagram gold in the boneyard. Just put your mind at ease. This place is often booked for photo shoots, special events, and even weddings. Okay, let's go to the opposite of big city. We're headed to Potato Country now. Potato Museum, Blackfoot, Idaho. You know what rhymes with Idaho? Potato. So they made a museum. Okay, not quite. But Idaho does have the perfect conditions for growing potatoes, and that's Idaho's claim to fame. They grow potatoes that are rivaled by none. So why not celebrate a big part of Idaho's history with a museum in its honor? Established in 1988, and later that year they had their very first Idaho Potato Expo. It's all very exciting. You can learn about how potatoes are grown, watch Mr. Potato Head races, or even a quick film about the potato pop culture. Better make sure your potato puns are appealing before you get there. Keeping up with the food theme, we head to our next odd museum, Spam Museum, Austin, Minnesota. The famous little blue can that's traveled through the ages. The first can of Spam was created back in 1937. So there's a lot of history when it comes to this weird, meat-like cube of food. What's become the brunt of many jokes? Spam has lasted through the ages, and the fact that there's a museum dedicated to it is pretty awesome. Plus, it's totally free. If you're lucky, you'll get to meet the Spambassador. Oh yeah, we wish we came up with that. That's what they're actually called. Still don't think it's a popular food? According to the folks at Spam, there are 12.6 cans of Spam eaten every second. National Videogame Museum, Frisco, Texas. Yes, there's a museum dedicated to video games. Hey, if there's a museum dedicated to Spam, of course there's one dedicated to the wonderful world of gaming. Gaming has been around in one form or another since the 50s. As you've probably guessed, it's come a long way since then. Atari, anyone? This museum is dedicated to not only the actual gaming console and memorabilia, but the stories of how these games came to be and how they changed history. Our next museum is filled with something everyone can play. Kazoo Museum, Beaufort, South Carolina. Ah, yes. An instrument that takes special skill and dedication to learn. The kazoo. Come on, of course we're joking. No offense to you kazoo players, but the kazoo is fun because it's easy. America's most unique instrument has a home at the museum, which was created by kazoo enthusiast Boaz Frankel back in 2007. If you hit up this magical place, you'll learn that the first kazoo was created way back in the 1840s. There's kazoo sheet music, and even kazoos that are 100 plus years old. Definitely worth it if you have a kazoo lover in the family. National Museum of Mathematics, New York City, New York. Quick, what's 5 times 9? Hey, math is fun, right? Well, maybe for some, but in this case, math is really enjoyable. Welcome to the Museum of Mathematics in New York City. We all know that math is part of everyday life, whether you're a whiz or not. But math can be kinda cool. There's lots of interactive things to check out, like having a smooth ride on a bike with square wheels, or be swarmed by lots of tiny robots who interact with your every move, all because of math. What weird museums have you been to? Do you always stop at a museum when you travel? Let us know in the comment section below. Enjoyed this video? Hit like, share, and subscribe to What the Facts. Wait, why don't you fact off with these other awesome videos? Go ahead, choose the left or the right video and enjoy.